What's up everyone? And today I'm bringing a deck profile on my Unchained. Now this is the last of the decks that you guys voted for last month, which was Dinos, Blackwings, ABC, and Unchained. And all three of those has already been uploaded to the channel, and this is the last one. Now if you want me to do a deck profile on your favorite deck, make sure to vote, because so far we have 4 votes, which is World Legacy, Crawlers, Aliens, and Altergeist. And without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. Now the best way to summarize Unchained is essentially it's a deck comprised of IP Masquerena. Because IP Masquerena, you know how it essentially can link away during your opponent's turn using that card, using itself and another card. That's kind of what Unchained does, but it can use your opponent's monsters. So it's a pretty cool archetype, and there's actually a bit of a funny story with Unchained. In Japan, it is called Hakai, and before it came out, I was actually looking forward to this deck, and then when it eventually... Now this was before I knew that they actually changed the names of decks when they get translated from Japanese to English. And for a while I'm like, what happened to the Hakai archetype? It just disappeared. But I didn't know that it was the name was changed to Unchained. So for a while I was just wondering what happened with this deck when nothing did. This name got changed. Without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. I run 3 Unchained Twins Aruha, 3 Unchained Twins Rakia, and 3 Unchained Twins Sarama. Now, all the Unchained Twins have effects when they get destroyed. The main goal of what you want to do is use them to destroy each other. You can use Twins to destroy Sarama or Rakia, vice versa. And you get effects, and when they're destroyed by one of the others, you can special summon an Unchained monster from your deck. So let's say, for example, you have Sarama on the field. You can use the effect Aruha, destroy Sarama, special, say, Rakia from the deck. So that's essentially how this deck works. And you want to start out by getting off your links, because then once you get into your links or Soul of Disaster, you can start using your opponent's monsters as link material. Now the one you want to start off with most is Aruha. That's I'd say more important than Rakia and Sarama, because this is the starter because it can special summon itself from the hand. These two can't quite do that. Next I run 1 Unchained Soul of Disaster. You don't want to see it in hand as much, mainly because it doesn't have it's very hard to summon if it's in the hand. You want to summon it from the deck. Although if it is in the hand, you can still get onto the field, but you much more want to get it from the deck to the hand. I mean, special summon it from the deck. And for Disaster, similar to the Link monsters, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, and immediately after this effect resolves, Link summon 1 Dark Link monster using only this card you control and that monster. So let's say you're going against, I don't know, dinosaurs, and they summon Overraptor. You can use this and the Overraptor to Link summon into Rage, for example. So it's very good for disrupting your opponent's plays and getting more bodies on the field. This is the one cool thing about this deck. This deck is a really powerful deck. I feel like it's just missing one card to push it into the higher tiers of competitive play. But unfortunately it doesn't really have that quite yet. Now the hand trap lineup. 3 Ash. Pretty standard. As well as 3 Gamma. And of course the 1 Siphon Driver, as well as 2 Nibiru. This is what I run for hand traps. Of course, if you want to switch this out for other hand traps, that's fine. Now, I also run 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon and 1 Dark Magician, which you know what that means? Yep, Dragoon. You can run Dragoon in this deck. Now, when I was looking up deck profiles, kind of give an idea of how to play this deck. They all played it in a very different style than for what I'm going for. Like the one I was looking at ran Pot of Extravagance and was mainly focusing on the Unchained links and didn't run Dragoon at all. But I just decided to drop Pot of Extravagance to focus more on climbing up in the actual deck end. And one thing you can't do during your opponent's turn is link into Preplant Verte Anaconda. Granted, that is going to be a bit of a risky play because Anaconda only has 500 attack, so if it gets destroyed then that blows up the whole thing. But if you don't want to do that, there's other options. It's just one of many options you can do. Now on to spells. I run 3 Abomination's Prison. This is your searcher. Add an Unchained card from your deck to hand. And if it's destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon one Unchained monster from your deck. One thing I noticed with the Unchained spells and traps is that when they're destroyed by card effect, they can special an Unchained monster from your deck. And I think, as I was mentioning before, with the three twins, Sarama, Rakia, and Aruha, is that how they can destroy each other to bring out more Unchained twins. But instead of doing that, you can also destroy the spells and traps, which keeps the monster on field and brings out another one. I'd say that is the better play as destroying each other, but you can do that if you want to. I run 3 Pot of Avarice. Again, while others may run Pot of Extravagance, I think Pot of Avarice is better because you do go through a lot of your Unchained twins by summoning from the extra deck, then linking away. So getting into Pot of Avarice is very easy. So I just thought it was a better draw power over Extravagance because I really don't want to banish like Dragoon or Access Code. And also run the 1 Red Eyes Fusion for the Dragoon play. Moving on to the traps. I run 3 Escape of the Unchained and 3 Abominable Chamber of the Unchained. I struggled pronouncing that. Now, Escape of the Unchained can trigger off your twins' effects because it targets 1 Unchained monster you control and 1 card on the field. Destroy both. And if this card is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Unchained monster from your deck. The secondary effect is the same as the Unchained. What was it? Unchained. Same as Abomination's Prisons, and Abominable Chamber also does the same thing. But the first effect can help trigger off your Unchained's effects. Man, I'm really struggling with names here. And Chamber special summons 1 Unchained monster from your hand or grave. So both are really good either to use their effects or be destroyed by the twins, whichever one you want to do. Next, I run 3 Infinite Impermanence, one of the best hand traps in the game, as well as 3 Evenly Matched. One thing with Unchained Twins, I do go second with it, mainly because of how you can use your opponent's monsters as link material, and if you're going first, you don't have any of your opponent's monsters to use as link material, so that makes Unchained Soul Disaster completely useless. So going second is much better, in my opinion. Now moving on to the extra deck. I run 3 Unchained Soul of Rage. Now, Soul of Rage, during your opponent's turn quick effect, you can target 1 face-up special summon monster, link that card and this card for 1 dark link monster. So, an IP Masquerade effect, essentially. That's what the Unchained extra deck monsters do. At least 2 of them, anyways. They do have a 3rd extra deck monster, which is an Unchained Abomination, but I don't run it. I just don't like it. I'd rather go into like an Access Code Talker or something like that. And that's mainly what you want to use it for. It has a secondary effect when it's destroyed, special summon an Unchained monster, but that's not really important. You may want to use it to go into your higher link plays, like Unchained Soul of Anguish. Anguish, same as Rage. You just use it to get into higher monsters. So the best way I do it is to go into Rage first, then into Anguish, and then into Anaconda, Access Code Talker, whatever you want to do. I also run 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Unicorn. Now, I don't run IP or Nightmare Cerberus. The main reason is the Unchained are essentially IP Masquerades themselves, so it's not really needed. And that the one downside with Unchained Twins is that they do lock you into only summoning fiends for the rest of the turn. So during your first turn, you can't even set up an IP Masquerena. And you can go into Phoenix and Unicorn, same as you would with IP Masquerena with the normal Unchained cards. I also run 1 Verte Anaconda for the Dragoon plays, 1 Topologic Trisbania, and 1 Topologic Zeraboros, as well as Boral Sword, Access Code Talker, and Borlo Dragon. Originally I had Appaloosa, but then I realized for the Unchained they can only be linked into a dark monster, so the extra deck monster you're bringing out has to be a dark, which all these are. And lastly, I run 1 Cyframe Lord of Mega and 1 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon.